This is my Chase Sapphire Preferred. You guys have seen this on YouTube a lot more recently due to the 25% boost on the welcome offer right now, going from $60K all the way up to $75,000 for the same $4,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months, to which you could also get in the pinned comment down below. But for this video, I want to take a little bit of a different angle, one that no one has ever dared to try before, and one thing that I have been very critical on this card since the beginning, back when I got it in 2021, and that is the $50 hotel credit that everybody complains about, myself included, that you get on this card every single year. Now what I decided to do is, instead of complain about it, I actually wanted to be about it and actually get a real life use case for this $50 credit. So come along with me for the ride here, because it's gonna be a crazy one. That's right. Welcome to the $50 hotel, baby. Quality Inn by Choice hotels. Yeah, this looks a little bit different than your Waldorf Astorias, right? But let's go check in and let's go see what we can get with $50. So here's essentially how I did it. So I just went on the Chase travel portal, found a hotel that was close to $50 as possible, went all the way to checkout and paid with my Chase Sapphire Preferred. They asked me if I wanted to use points, to which I said no, and it was as simple as that. Funnily enough, I got my $50 hotel credit back already, even though the hotel charge didn't even post yet. I'm gonna leave this watch here before we actually check in, just in case. Don't tell anybody, but we have a little bit of a secret compartment right here.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? And here's the walk all the way to the hotel room, where there were some people kind of mean mugging me that I didn't show on camera, but a little bit sketchy, just a little bit. All right. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was pretty sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. There's people hanging out on the side, people leaning over the railings, people mean mugging you a little bit. That's a little scary, but let's let's see what's in this $50 hotel, baby. Choice Hotels, what you got for me? All right, so we got some tape on the side here. We have some popcorn ceiling. Some new appliances though. I'm gonna say this kind of looks like some of the lower end Marriotts that we've been to recently. There's also these weird stains on the wall, like, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's just coffee, or it could be worse. Same here on the lampshade, and a few other places that I didn't get on camera. We already know what we gotta do, guys. Before anything, we gotta do a bed bug check, baby. So let's do it. Let's do the bed bug check. All right, folks, this is how you conduct a bed bug check anytime you stay at a $50 hotel. Thanks, CSP. Thanks for making me have to check this. But you should be checking it at any hotel room. So what we want to do is get down and dirty. And once you're down and dirty, you're going to have to lift up the mattress. And before that, you have to kind of strip it. So we're going to strip it of everything. First, okay, we need exposed cloth, because the bed bugs that are lurking about, they're going to, at the nighttime, going to go towards the carbon dioxide that you're exhaling every single night, and they are going to go to you, because you're the only thing in the room spouting some carbon dioxide. And then they're going to bite you, and then as they bite you, they're going to fill up with blood, and as you roll over, you're going to roll over the blood bugs, and then there's going to be a blood spatter. So down here, if you zoom in a little bit, we're looking for any little red dots whatsoever. You're going to see like splatters of them, a few of them here and there. Of course, you have to check everywhere. Even though it was kind of clear here, you're going to also have to check, because where are you exhaling? That's right, you are exhaling from your face, which is closer to this region. So again, strip it on this side. Pretty clean, actually. I don't really see anything. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's definitely no bed bugs. Still look out, check under the bed, check under everywhere. Curtains too, beware of curtains with bed bugs. You never know. You never know. So, now everything is great, right? We have a $50 hotel from the CSP that we're spending $95 a year on, but I have to go through the story. And if you come along with me, I'm going to go through the whole story of why I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred in the first place, why it's currently still in my wallet today, and exactly all the value that I got from this card over the past 3 years of holding it. And we're going to do it all In here, baby. Actually, just hold that thought 1 second. Now, it wasn't always this bad. The Chase Sapphire Preferred in me. Chase Sapphire Preferred, I've had a love-hate relationship with this card, but honestly, over the course of the last 3 years of owning this card, I've actually gotten way more benefits from this card than most other cards in my wallet, and it's not for the reason you may think. So this story I'm about to take you through is a story of love, heartache, and kind of doing things on short notice. So there came a time in 2021 when I was looking for a credit card because I was going to get engaged to my wife. And at that time, of course, just being my girlfriend, this decision is a really, really big decision. So going through, how much things cost and the 4 C's like cut, clarity, carat, and color, all the things that go into what make a diamond ring actually worth what they can charge for you. And during this time, I realized that the ring was going to be a decent price because, well, she's a decent girl. So what I ended up doing was around 2021, right when I was gearing up to buy this ring, I ended up stumbling across the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And it was a card that I kind of slept on for a few years. I decided like, oh, I'll get it next time, because the multipliers really weren't there. I already had a bunch of other cards that could give me all the benefits that the CSP already has. But at that time, the CSP also had a record high welcome offer, which was in branch, mind you. You have to walk in branch, and you'll get 100,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points after spending just $4,000 in the first 3 months of opening the card. But get this, the first year is actually waived. The annual fee is waived, so $0 annual fee for the first year via that in-branch offer. And what we have today is basically 75,000 points. And if you go in branch, I believe it's 80,000 or 85,000. So still a decent step up from just the typical 60,000 that we've been seeing for the last couple of years, but still a little bit less than the 100,000 I was able to get at that time. And considering I already had the ring configured exactly how I wanted it, I already found the person who was going to make the ring, and let's just say that they quoted me a price that was at least $4,000. So what did I do about a month prior to picking up that ring? Drove on down to my local Chase branch, and I did apply and was approved for the Chase Sapphire Preferred, baby. That's actually, in fact, just a week later, this was the card that ended up coming in the mail. And what did I do? Of course, a couple weeks went by, went to go buy the ring, and we put it on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So in one shot, we were able to get that $4,000 minimum spend, and now all of a sudden I had an influx of 100,000 Ultimate Reward points. And it's something that I think a lot of people sleep on, because that 100,000 points has gone really far. Really, really far. And even at the current levels today at like 75K, would have given me all the value that has gotten me so far. And here's where I made a little bit of a mistake, but at the time I thought I was getting some outsized value just with the points on this card. So then some time went on, and of course you have the ring, and now you actually have to do the thing, right? You have to ask the girl to marry you. And what better place to ask a girl to marry you than her favorite place in the whole world, which for my wife, it is Cape May, New Jersey. If you guys know Cape May, it's exit 0 past Atlantic City, and it's a really quiet town where nobody honks and nobody curses, and it's a nice little town. Let's just put it that way. Somebody's whistling outside. And if you also know Cape May, New Jersey, you know that there are no hotels there whatsoever. I mean, the closest hotels are maybe 20 minutes away in Wildwood, New Jersey, but if I'm going to ask her to marry me, I don't want to stay in Wildwood, right? I want to stay in Cape May. So the only options at that time for that area, and still to this day, I believe, are Airbnbs to have like an awesome, nice experience, because all the other ones at that time are way too expensive and not on any portals and nothing you could book with points. So what did I do? I ended up booking a very nice Airbnb that ended up being 2 nights, mind you, ended up being $750 out of pocket. That's cash money for me. And basically that same night that we checked in was the night that I did pop the question. That's right, we did it, boys. We put her up and made her feel like Cinderella in the ball carriage, and we got down on one knee and we sealed the deal, to which she said, of course, yes. I mean, come on. Anthony Venture, you don't say no to Anthony Venture. Come on, are you kidding me? I'm just kidding. So all of that went well, and it was a great night. But then I also was sat there with the bill of $750 for this Airbnb. In come the CSP. And you guys remember at that time, 2021, even into 2022, and I'm not sure when they got rid of it or even if they even got rid of it. But essentially, you can pay yourself back via Airbnb purchases. So instead of everything just cashing out and being worth 1 cent per point, if you redeem your Chase Hold Reward points for Airbnb purchases, that is going to be a multiplier of 1.25 cents per point, so a 25% boost on those points values. So yes, I did redeem 60,000 of my 100,000 points I had on this card to make that Airbnb purchase paid with points and completely for free to me. So that's what we did, and that, even though I feel as though it might have been a little bit of a mistake, because nowadays with those 60,000 points, I could have stayed, 2 nights at the Palazzo Manfredi, or, 4 nights at the Hyatt Thompson in Washington, D.C., or even this Category 8 Hyatt Hotel in Greece for a couple of days, right? There's a lot of other things I could have done than to put it on an Airbnb purchase. But I don't regret it because, well, it was a magical experience and I didn't have to pay any money out of pocket for it. But that also means that I had 40,000 points left over. Those same 40,000 points that I had just sitting left over weren't really used for those first 3 years, especially since I only really got into the Hyatt hotel chain about a year ago. Of course, I have my Amex points if I want to book flights. I have my Delta miles for flights. For me, I've always just used my Chase Hold Reward points for Hyatt. It's a cliche at this point, right? Most people are doing that at this point, and rightly so. Hyatt hotels are awesome, and I've only had good experiences with them, and the value is just there. It's interesting how things kind of come full circle, right? And those same 40,000 points that were left over, now technically were used to book this birthday stay that I have coming up in Charleston, South Carolina, which is also a place that she loves a lot. And it's going to be an amazing place, exactly what she wants, just a stone throw away from the beach, in a nice quiet setting, away from all the craziness of the entire world. So why do I tell you this whole story? I tell you that story because I didn't say anything about multipliers. I didn't say anything about credits, hotel credits, because basically to me, the Chase Sapphire Preferred has always been get the card, get the welcome offer, and use it as a tool to be able to transfer your points to transfer partners, and this way you can get outsized returns via flights or hotels. It was never about the multipliers, it was never about the credits that came on this card, because I had other cards that kind of footed that bill. But what I mean is, this card is absolutely worth it. I think is absolutely worth it to anybody who is in the credit card game for the welcome offer. But beyond that, it's really going to depend on you, right? Do you need a card that's going to be giving you 5x back on travel, through the Chase portal? So this way when you do your bookings for your hotels through the portal, you're getting 5x points on all those dollars spent, which technically this stay gave me 250 points by booking through the portal and by using this card to pay for it, right? So there's an inherent value there if you're using it accordingly. However, if you don't like the portal, there are some other multipliers like 3x back on dining. Do you not have any dining cards whatsoever? You have no Capital One, Saver Ones. You have no Amex Golds. Do you not already have Chase Freedom cards? Well, in that case, this might be the card for you for at least a 3x back dining multiplier on a pretty powerful currency such as Chase points. The average person is spending at least $1,000 every single year in dining out, so on that 3x multiplier, it's 3,000 points. That's a pretty much budget Hyatt stay that you're earning back every single year, that if you didn't have a card that earned on dining, that you're essentially leaving in the trash. What about travel, right? Like the 2x back on all travel purchases. And Chase is notorious for being pretty generous on their travel category. So, if you're buying, a ticket to a bus or a subway, if you're coming out of a parking lot and you got to pay that little ticket right there, that can code towards that as well. Or even if I just paid with this card for this hotel, I would have gotten 2x points, not 5x by booking through the portal. But at least it does count for something, and at least it is very generous. And then you also have the 3x back on the online grocery category, which can technically be used towards Publix, and more recently I've been using it for Instacart. And then also you're gonna get 3 points per dollar spent on select streaming services, which I'll put on the screen right here. And of course, it's a Visa signature card. It comes with a lot of Visa signature benefits and all of this travel coverage that comes along with this specific credit card. Cancellation, interruption insurance, a lot of different protections that people much smarter than me have definitely been able to articulate better or have used. I haven't, so I'm not going to speak on this directly, and it's not the reason I got the card in the first place. And then also the Chase Sapphire Preferred comes with primary CDW, which I also have not used yet because I haven't rented a car in at least 3 or 4 years at this point. And don't get me started on the $50 hotel credit. Okay, yes, we do have a roof over our head for a night, but the annual fee is $95, man. If I got this card for the $50 hotel credit, then I have some serious priorities to reevaluate because, well, some of you might be saying like, oh no, you're supposed to deduct it against... Someone's calling me. Who the hell's calling me? Hello?
Your package is at the front desk when you're ready for it.
Oh. Yes, all good. Thank you so much. Wow. They gave me a courtesy call. I was like, am I making too much noise in here? Is people complaining? But no, they just said, oh, you just checked in. Let's give you a courtesy call just to make sure everything's going good. As I'm kind of trashing the place. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Anyway, as I was saying, I get some people would probably say like, oh, get $100 hotel deducted by $50. That's the true value. But if I'm getting in this game, I'm getting in this game, the points of miles game, to have outsized experiences. I spent my whole life, staying in places like this. And I mentioned Days Inn, Holiday Inns, which could be nice, by the way, Roadway Inns, all of these kind of budget stays. And I understand if that's your time and period in life, but that's not why we're here. We're watching this video because we want the points of miles game to give us outsized experiences, ones that we wouldn't normally be able to achieve. I mean, last week, I'm staying at the Waldorf Astoria in Washington, D.C., one of the classiest hotels in the entire world that gave me a $3,000 a night room. Going from that to this, all I could really think when I'm pulling up, outside and I'm looking at everybody and I'm like, man, if only we can get more people in this niche. If only we get more and more people to understand the game. And I get some people might say like, oh, it becomes saturated and then things get devalued. I don't care, man. I get it. But the fact that I and everybody watching this probably have stayed in places just like this, and I'm not going to shame it for what it is, but it's no Waldorf, it's no Conrad, it's no Thompson, it's none of these hotels that I've gone to recently. And I'm super appreciative of that, okay? I really love that we're in the points of miles game to have experiences we would never be able to have in our entire life. And as I'm driving up, I'm seeing people pull up and their families, and I'm like, man, if there's anything else in life, all I really care about is to make sure that, when my wife and I are traveling, I want her, because she's such an amazing person. I love her so much. And this card is the reason why we got the ring and severely discounted, by, 100,000 points, whatever that's worth. The main reason is like, I want her to have the best experiences as possible. And I would feel almost ashamed if I were to bring her to a place like this. I get it. I've done it. I've been here. But I don't want to go back here. I want to live life how I want to live it, and it's possible through this game and everything we're talking about right now. So why am I making this video? I'm making it to say, like, yes, I appreciate the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Am I going to cancel it as soon as I get the Chase Ink Preferred? Yes, because I think it's a better value proposition. It's not going to hurt my 524 status. I'm going to get another 100,000 points for that. It has great multipliers that could be, usable in my world, and it could also act as a method to transfer my points to the transfer partners. So everything that this card I've needed for the past 3 years, but I'm going to get a more valuable card after that. But I'm never going to knock how powerful this card really is, because it gave me that Airbnb stay. It discounted the ring by at least $1,000. So something like a 20 to 30% return based on the numbers that you're using. And it's always going to have a special place in my heart for that reason. So anybody who's on the fence about the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I come from the perspective of, don't feel like you have to be married to this particular card for as long as you live. I understand this card has been basically useless after the welcome offer, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that, and I'm very happy, and I would do it over and over again if I could. So if anybody is on the fence and wants to apply for this card, of course I'm going to tell you. You're watching this video, so I'm going to get you while I have your attention. My affiliate link down in the pinned comment below, 75,000 points if you use my link, and I think 85,000 if you go in branch. So do whatever makes you feel happy, but just letting you know, it's not a card you have to keep in life, but I absolutely recommend it for anybody who wants to have some amazing stays down the line, because 75,000 high points, baby, that can get me a lot of stays. That can get me a lot of good stays with those amount of points for Hyatt hotels. So, and if you're wondering if I'm going to upgrade this to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, well, although Jake Mercure, he might have a point about those lift scooters. I used them in DC and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, okay? So that's my advice. Get the card, get the welcome offer, and if it's worth it to you, keep it for many, many years to come. If it's not, wait a year, and you could always downgrade to a no annual fee, Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Freedom Flex, and get value from those no annual fee cards as well. Or upgrade to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, whatever makes sense for you. But my only take home from all of this is don't book a $50 hotel with this credit. It's not the greatest idea. Oh my God, what am I doing? Where am I? Hey man, not bad for $50, am I right? CSP, maybe you got a point here with the CSP. Let's get broads.